Welcome back to Regaining the Balance. We're going to do another episode here of reading out of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and just checking out what this book has to offer here. So, again, at some point I will get a better audio setup here, so I apologize for that. And every once in a while I might have to wet my whistle, just so you guys know. So no problems there. So let's get into it. Let's see here. Close that out. Okay. All right. Emerald Tablet 3, the Key of Wisdom. I, Thoth, the Atlantean, give my wisdom, give of my knowledge, give of my power, freely I give to the children of men. Give that they, too, might have wisdom to shine through the world from the veil of the night. Wisdom is power, and power is wisdom, one with each other, perfecting the whole. Be thou not proud, O man, in thy wisdom. Discourse with the ignorant as well as the wise. If one comes to thee full, if one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed, for wisdom is all. Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken, for truth, like the sunlight, shines above all. He who oversteppeth the law shall be punished, for only through law comes the freedom of men. Follow thine heart during thy lifetime. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thou thine heart. For all these are of no avail if thine heart be weary. Diminish thou not the time of following thine heart. It is a poured of the soul. They that are guided go not astray, but they that are lost cannot find a straight path. If thou go among men, make for thyself love, the beginning and end of the heart. If one cometh unto thee for counsel, let him speak freely, that the thing for which he hath come to thee may be done. If he hesitates to open his heart to thee, it is because thou, the judge, doeth the wrong. Repeat thou not extravagant speech, neither listen thou to it, for it is the utterance of one not in equilibrium. Speak thou not of it, so that he before thee may know wisdom. Silence is of great profit, an abundance of speech profiteth nothing. Exalt not thine heart above the children of men, lest it be brought lower than dust. If thou be great among men, be honored for knowledge and gentleness. If thou seekest to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass time alone with him. Debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. That which goeth into the storehouse must come forth, and the things that are thine must be shared with a friend. Knowledge is regarded by the fool as ignorance, and the things that are profitable are to him hurtful. He liveth in death. It is therefore his food. The wise man lets his heart overflow, but keeps silent his mouth. O man, list to the voice of wisdom, list to the voice of light. Mysteries there are in the cosmos that unveiled fill the world with their light. Let he who would be free from the bonds of darkness first divine the material from the immaterial, the fire from the earth. For know ye that as earth descends to earth, so also fire ascends unto fire and becomes one with fire. He knows the fire that is within himself shall ascend unto the eternal fire and dwell in it eternally. Fire, the inner fire, is the most potent of all force, for it overcometh all things and penetrates to all things of the earth. Man supports himself not only on that which resists, so earth must resist man, else he existeth not. All eyes do not see with the same vision, for to one an object appears of one form and color, and to a different eye of another. So also the infinite fire, changing from color to color, is never the same from day to day. Thus speak I, Thoth, of my wisdom, for man is a fire burning bright through the night, never quenched in the veil of darkness, never is quenched by the veil of night. Hark ye, O man, and list to this wisdom. Where do name and form cease? Only in consciousness, invisible, an infinite force of radiance bright. The forms that ye create by brightening thy vision are truly effects that follow thy cause. Man is a star bound to a body until, in the end, he is freed through his strife. Only struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in a new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realms of night. Remember, O man, that all which exists is only another form of that which exists not. Everything that has been everything that has being is passing into yet another being, and thou thyself art not an exception. Consider the law, for all is law. Seek not that which is not of the law, for for exists only in the illusions of the senses. Wisdom cometh to all her children, even as they cometh unto wisdom. All through the ages the light has been hidden. Awake, O man, and be wise. Deep in the mysteries of life have I traveled, seeking and searching for that which is hidden. List ye, O man, and be wise. For neath the earth's crust, in the halls of Amenti, mysteries I saw that are hidden from men. Oft have I journeyed the deep hidden passage, looked on the light that is life among men. There, neath the flowers of the life ever living, searching I the hearts and the secrets of men, found I that man is but living in darkness, light of the great fire is hidden within. Before the lords of hidden Amenti learned I the wisdom I give unto men. Masters are they of the great secret wisdom, brought from the future of infinity's end. Seven are they, the lords of Amenti, overlords they of the children of morning, sons of the cycle, masters of wisdom. Formed are they not that they as the children formed are they not they as the children of men? 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9 are the titles of the masters of men. Far from the future, formless yet forming, came they as teachers for the children of men. Live they forever, yet not of the living, bound not to life, and yet free from death. Rule they forever with infinite wisdom, bound yet not bound to the dark halls of death. Live they have in them, yet life that is not life, free from all are the lords of all. Forth from them come forth the Logos, instruments they of the power over all. Vast is their countenance, yet hidden in smallness, formed by a forming, known yet unknown. Three holds the key of all hidden magic, creator he of the halls of the dead, sending forth power, shrouding with darkness, binding the souls of the children of men, sending the darkness, binding the soul force, director of negative to the children of men. Four is he who loses the power, Lord he of life to the children of men. Light is his body, flame is his countenance, freer of souls to the children of men. 5 is the Master, the Lord of all magic, key to the world that resounds among men. 6 is the Lord of light, the hidden pathway, part of the souls of the children of men. 7 is he who is Lord of the vastness, master of space, and the key of the times. 8 is he who orders the progress, weighs and balances the journey of men. 9 is the Father, vast is he of countenance, forming and changing form out of formless. Meditate on the symbols I give thee, keys are they, though hidden from men. Reach ever upward, O soul of the morning, turn thy thoughts upward to the light and to the life, and to life. Find in the keys of the numbers I bring thee, light in the pathway from light unto life, unto life. Seek ye with wisdom, turn thy thoughts inward. Close not thy mind to the flower of light. Place in thy body a thought-formed picture. Think of the numbers that lead thee to life. Clear is the pathway to he who has wisdom. Open the door to the kingdom of light. Pour forth thy flame as sun of the morning. Shut out the darkness and live in the day. Take thee, O man, as part of thy being, the seven who are, but are not as they seem. Open, O man, have I my wisdom. Follow the path and the way I have led. Masters of wisdom, son of the morning, light and life of the children of men. All right. How very interesting. So, some interesting stuff in here. A lot of the kind of theme of the kingdom of heaven will be with you kind of thing. I find this to be pretty fascinating. I don't know about you guys, but there is a lot of esoteric stuff stuck in between this very poetic form, and don't know really what to make of the numbers necessarily. But one thing I'm going to say right now is this idea that it's my opinion that the version of Satan, the devil, so to speak, um, was created as a way to hide some of the, let's say, influences that this Egyptian style, I don't know, cosmology had on the influence of Christianity. Because as I'm gonna show in the near future, I don't believe Christianity comes from a Hebraic source per se. I think it is very much comes from a Phoenician and in terms of that also Egyptian's cosmology, because they're very extremely similar. And I'm going to show that with a lot of different stuff. But one of the things I'd like to say is that Satan is called the son of the morning, the morning star, that kind of thing. And what is this saying right here? Son of the morning. It's very interesting. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, if I go back and I read something like, if thou seekest to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass time alone with him, debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. I mean, how can you really argue with that? That's pretty straightforward. But there's something else here. Let me see if I can find it. Well, first of all, being silent and listening to people is very important. That's one thing that this definitely talks about. It's also the way that, all religions, in the act of prayer and meditation and mantras, which are all the same things, bring you into that mind space. Whether you do it out loud or you do it silently, it creates a vibration inside of you. And all of you who do practice this kind of thing know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, well, it's not difficult to get into. You should probably learn just simple meditation techniques just to start. But honestly, being quiet and letting all your thoughts just become blank in your mind and feeling that moment is a good first step, in my opinion. But it's like this other line: "Follow thine heart during thy lifetime. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thou thine heart. For all these are of no avail if thine heart be weary. Diminish thou not the time of following thine heart." This is this right here. Diminish thou not the time of following thy heart. Now, think about all of our lives here. If you're not really well off, like I'm not, we all have to work our butts off just to barely live. And we also have to pay for the, I don't know, we have to pay for the right to live on this planet. I mean, you can't even, if you're just somebody, a regular person and you buy a home, if you don't pay your property taxes in the United States, the government takes away your property. You don't actually own anything. And the problem is that this whole society is based off this materialistic viewpoint. and the system that we live under doesn't reward anything like that. It actually tries to tax you over owning things. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about it, but it's not really. I mean, things are different during times of different times of history, but my point is that we work so much that we don't have time to follow thine heart, as it says here. Follow thy heart during thy lifetime. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. And that has a lot. These two lines have, there are many layers of what this really means. But in essence, we all have a passion. We all have these things that we love. We have all these things that we want to do with ourselves. We all have to struggle with our own challenges in life because we all have the same challenges in life. And but the do more than is commanded of thee, and you know, uh, it's just like this next line too. They that are guided go not astray, but they that are lost cannot find a straight path. If thou go among men, make for thyself love the beginning and end of the heart. If one, and this one's important, if one cometh unto thee for counsel, let him speak freely, that the thing for which he hath come to thee may be done. If he hesitates to open his heart to thee, it is because thou, the judge, doeth the wrong. And I want to make a big point here is that this right here, this is a crux of why people don't understand each other. Okay? You have to allow people, first of all, if you have love in your heart, people feel that. Okay? They'll feel that just by being with you and by talking with you and by hearing you and by feeling your gentleness. And then and in that they'll understand that you have wisdom to share with them, or they trust you to be able to open their hearts and speak freely because they are searching for something. And if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, well, and you're not judging these people, then you know people feel comfortable talking to you. And the thing is that going back to do thou more than is commanded of thee, this has a lot to do with this one as well, because when people come to you for help and you give them help through love, without ego, without anything, without any attachments to what they'll do with it, because you can't force people to do anything. But the big point here is this, is that you can change the course of a person's life in a conversation. And I know this because I have lived this. And I have many friends of mine whose lives changed dramatically after they came to me for counsel. And I let them speak freely with an open heart. And I gave them exactly what they needed to hear. And those people that acted on those things, their lives changed for the better. And some people took a little bit longer time to hear what I had to say or to act on it, but in the end, their lives were always better. They eventually knew that it was always the right decision. And maybe at some point I'll make some anecdotal stories here to explain some of these things, but it's just something real, and it's something that we can do for each other every single day, and it's right there in front of us. I mean, how many opportunities do we have to smile and make somebody feel good every day, every hour? I mean, really, even when you're working, it's all about understanding people. We all have pain. We all have suffering, and that's part of what it is. That's part of the challenge. That in and of itself is the initiation of life, in the initiation into spirituality as well. Is going through strife, is going through conflict and persevering through that. And so here we are at the end of this, and I'll go ahead and just finish this up. Thank you very much for joining me today yet again, and I'm going to be right back with another reading of the Emerald Tablet 4, which is called The Spaceborne. So this one should be interesting. So much love to you guys. If you feel like giving me a tip or giving us a tip or We have our PayPal link in the description box. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe. If you like the video, like. I'm just reading this out for purposes of, if people never heard of these things, then they don't have to read it. They can hear me reading it. And then I give a couple of my opinions at the end. So please like, subscribe, share the video if you liked it. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.